Anchor is a fantastic platform for podcasting. It's so simple. It's remarkable. Even I could do it, and it's free distribution, free recording, easy, simple, elegant to use framework, great tools. Um, if you're going to pick one podcasting forum, platform, it should definitely be Anchor. I highly recommend it. How to get a much better mentor. The short answer is research, but it's a special kind of research and there's more than one type. So this is what's involved in order to get a much better mentor. So the top people obviously are in great demand. I mean, if you want to be mentored by Bill Gates or Tony Robbins or, Barack Obama or whoever I'm not picking one party over another. It could be a Republican or a Democrat or any field or endeavor. If you want to be mentored by either a world-class person or just a very esteemed person, they don't even have to be world-class. How do you attract somebody like that? So when I say research, what do I mean? So think about if you're that famous person. Say that you're, Warren Buffett, or say that you're Bill Gates, or say that you're, and 10,000 people have contacted you to say that they want to be mentored by you, because they probably get, it's not just mentorship. They probably get hundreds, if not thousands, of emails every day and letters. Read my book and do this or do that. Let's do a partnership. Hire me. So there's a lot of things, people that want things from them. Buy my company. But I'm sure they get a lot of requests for mentorship also. So if they're going to pick one or two or, people that they will mentor or meet with for lunch or do whatever they do, why would they select you? So there's a couple of different things. Now, when I say research, there's research of the mentor and there's research of yourself. Let me explain how the two are related and what they involve. So research of the mentor doesn't mean you just read their Wikipedia page. That's what, some people might do. It means that you study that person, because everybody knows a lot about Bill Gates that approaches him. If they don't, they're, not that smart to begin with. You have to know things that other people don't know, not just specific tidbits, but aspects of their interests, character, personality, motivations that tie into. So, when you approach them, how you write a smart query or a smart letter is a topic unto itself, because there's a lot that can be said there. But assuming that how to form a good query, what's the specific type of information that you put in. So it's kind of the more is less, and the less is more kind of philosophy. That if you mentor if you query 50 people and figure that I'll take the best one that responds, none of them are going to respond, because the 50 that you send out are all not going to be very good. But if you target one person and two person, if you, instead of just spending half an hour to write a query and research that person, if you spent a month, think about it. If you spent a month, maybe 100 hours, just researching one person, and then even if they didn't respond the first time, if you wrote them every 2 weeks for a year, think about the impact that would make. For two reasons. One is persistence. People want to see that you're, without being, obviously crossing the line or over persistent. If you're writing them every day, that's bad. But if you're, and it's not only writing, asking for things, you also have to provide value, because if I'm Bill Gates, if I'm Warren Buffett, I want to know, if I help this person, what can they do for me? One is it going to be a good use of my time in terms of is the person ready to be mentored to me? Do they have the intelligence, capability in terms of what they've learned in their life already, which is not even just intelligence, but experience. And, is it going to be someone that's going to make their mark in the world if I spend time with them, or is it just kind of a waste of time? So if you approach a person and you can demonstrate that you want to be with them in a tailored way, just them to be mentored by, not a million other people or 50 other people, because you understand what they're all about and you can express it in a way that other people don't have that knowledge and that understanding, that makes an impact. So one, you have to be very specific, in terms of like why you chose that person and what that person has to offer you specifically, and why that's meaningful to you. Because if I'm Bill Gates or Warren Buffett or anybody at a high level, I want to know that you didn't pick me out just because I'm famous, but because not only do you understand what's important to me, but what's important to you ties into what's important to me, so we're both going to benefit from it. So you have to do like a ton of research, like, look through their interviews, look through other documents, and also try to get access to information that's public, obviously, that other people won't find. So you have to be resourceful. Like a lot of VCs, they don't publish their contact information. They want warm contacts, but about that they say, if you're smart enough to find me, my contact information, then that's a good sign that you're smart enough to be an entrepreneur, because finding me is probably the least of the obstacles that you have to face in your endeavors. So if you want to get a higher level of mentor, be persistent if you need to be, but Warren Buffett says for investments, put all your eggs in one basket and then guard the basket with your life. Focus on one or two people that you really understand that you want them to be your mentors, and just study the heck out of them. Like, know the things that show them that you really understand why they're the right person for you. So that ties into the second point of research, is that knowing yourself. They say that, like, climbing the ladder of success, you could climb the ladder your entire career, but then you could get to the top and you could find out that your ladder is propped up against the wrong building. There's another famous quote that says, if we don't change direction, we'll get to where we're going, which means that it's not just enough to be diligent in your study and in your efforts. You have to study the right things. So, you don't know which mentor to approach until you really know yourself. So before you start studying somebody else, study yourself to say, oh, I'm this kind of person, or I'm that kind of person. This is why I'm this kind of person. And know yourself at such a deep level that nobody can totally predict the future, but that it's not going to change in 5 years, like, fundamentally who you are and what you want. Because if you don't know yourself at a really deep level, it's going to change quickly over time. Then who you select as a mentor is not going to be the right person, because then when you go off in a new direction, the stuff that you learn from that person is not going to be that relevant anymore. It's like if you're a biology major, then you decide to go off and be, a novelist. There's probably like a little overlap, but not too much. So how do you study yourself? You study yourself through self-awareness, meditation, experience, feedback. There's a lot of different tools, but, two-step process to getting an incredible mentor. Know yourself, like do a written analysis, like these are my strengths and weaknesses, talk to other people, think about what type of mentor you really want and why, and then apply that to your research of other people. I want a mentor that does A, B, and C. Who's the type of person that that fits that criteria? Are they open to mentorship? What kind of mentee do they want? And then show them that you understand why they are uniquely capable and qualified to mentor you, what you can contribute to them, that's very important, and why it's such a good match.